What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Today I want to talk about the Yugitube Awards. It's been basically the hot topic of the week. You've got people who liked it, people who hated it. I know Underworld and Draco DMD got a ton of negs, and there seems to be a lot of unnecessary backlash. Drew Design Enigma put out basically 2 videos just completely bashing the hell out of them, which I thought was pretty funny. That kind of started a mini conflict between him and Dp-Ygo Dad. And then Underworld and Draco DMD put out a video kind of explaining the situation. And I watched that video. I've watched basically a collection of everything except for like the very last part of the Yugitube Awards. And I just want to put my 2 cents on it. Now, I don't really feel like setting up my tripod and all of that good stuff. So I just figured I'd go ahead and just show some funny Yu-Gi-Oh pictures so you guys don't have to look at my ugly mug this whole time. All right. So, if you saw part 2, you know that I had a very small part in it, just like a minute or so. And I actually shot that video like 6 or 7 times because I had to do the whole thing off just memory. And I imagine that some of the other YouTubers probably did. Now, it's very easy for me to sit back and criticize, oh, they did this wrong and they did that wrong. But at the same time, I mean, that thing was long, so it definitely looks like they put a lot of hard work into it. That's first off. And when you have a lot of hype around something and you've got a lot of subscribers, you got a lot of viewers, their first video with them talking about the awards got 12,000. So obviously, a lot of people were going to watch this thing. But when you have something like that that's going to be seen by so many people, you're going to have people that hate it. You're going to have people that love it. People who just talk shit about it just to talk shit because they're trolling you. That's all well and good. Now, I would say this. I would be frustrated if there were other Yugitubers, especially big ones, putting me on blast, you know, talking about me in videos and whatnot. Because personally, it would make me, you know, basically just say, well, you know, excuse me, but where the fuck is your Yugitube award show? Oh, right, you didn't make one, so sit the fuck down. Because this is YouTube, and we're trying to be a community, and we're all basically eating off the same pie. So shut the hell up, you know. Now, did they implement everything well? Okay, I think first off, there was confusion. You know, like, I'm a viewer too. So sometimes, you know, I'm too much viewer and not enough, you know, being a Yugitube channel or being a Yugitube partner, maybe not being held to the same standards. But, you know, when they listed the nominees, I thought that it was going to be, you know, people voting on each nominee and whatnot. And that caused a lot of confusion because I know they got backlash. They were saying, you know, oh, you guys nominated X, Y, and Z and whatever. And for the most part, it was pretty short-sighted and stupid to nominate yourselves for any of the awards. I think that was a little silly, especially the win one. But with that being said, there are a ton of YouTube channels. It's not like everybody that the fans wanted to win were, you know, was going to win. I mean, for my money, Simply Unlucky, Galactic Gods, like, excuse my ignorance, but I've never even heard of these people until this video, until people were just shouting from the rooftops in anger about why these people didn't win. Because me personally, we all have different, you know, likes and dislikes. We all have different things that we like to watch on YouTube. One of the reasons why I watch Design Enigma is because he's funny. He says off the wall shit and he'll talk about anything and he'll put anybody on blast and so on and so forth. He's like the Charles Barkley of Yugitube. But if you're just going to do pack openings and stuff like that, I'm not interested in that shit. There's nothing more boring to me than watching somebody open packs of cards. So that has no interest to me. So it's understandable that for as many people, you know, who wanted Galactic God or whoever to win most pack openings, you know, there'd be people like me who've never even heard of this guy. Now, their editing was okay. There were some things that they probably could have cleaned up. Like, hell, it honestly might have been better just not to have Dragon Duelist Girl do an acceptance speech. I mean, I'm not trying to just trash her, but like, what the hell was that? Usually when I see her, you know, like, what she gives me is a hard dick. That's a joke. But I really felt awkward just watching that. That's not the joke part. And there were some funny parts like Kyle Von 60. He always does an amazing job in anything that he does. You know, he kept it short and sweet. He was just like, you know, thank Kanye. That was pretty funny. But just in general, I think that too many people are looking at the negatives. People aren't taking the positive. Like the interview with Greg Abbey, the questions weren't great, but overall it was unexpected. I thought it was pretty interesting. And they probably could have cut maybe 20 minutes from the video, like the insect deck. I mean, nobody gives a shit about that. I mean, they could have just had the guy give the deck list or something like that. So, also, I think another thing is, as far as a production quality, I think people's expectations were a little too high. They have a green screen. They didn't use it, but still, I think you guys were expecting like movie production. The only person who I've seen who probably could do justice to something like the Yugitube Awards is probably your Yu-Gi-Oh channel, because I mean, I don't know what type of camera he uses, but he has the highest quality videos on Yugitube or on YouTube. So, I mean, outside of that, from a visual standpoint, there was going to be disappointment. That's why the lighting in everybody's video was different, including my own, and things look kind of weird. But, you know, I still think that they did the best with basically like a lack of communication, because they had to get with all these people and get everybody to, you know, try and come together on the same page. So I think all in all, they did a good job. You know what I mean? It wasn't the best, but it wasn't like, it definitely wasn't to the point where people should just be like, man, you guys tried and you fucking failed, because that's just, I mean, seriously, what the fuck? It's not that serious. Everybody's making such a big deal out of something that was just supposed to be fun for most of these people. And I guess in closing, I'll just ask, what do you think should happen to the Yugitube Awards? Do you think that we shouldn't do them anymore? Or do you think that they should simply just change hosts every year? Or what do you think should be added that could make it better? What do you think should be subtracted? What ideas do you think that should be implemented into the Yugitube Awards? Because I think not just me and not just them, but everybody wants this thing to be as, you know, as entertaining and as good as it can possibly be. So put that in the comments below, and thanks for watching, guys.